Hello everybody, Luke here. We just got done watching the final episode of Succession. Succession, probably one of the best shows of recent years. Honestly, one of my favorite shows. It's amazing, and this ending is mind-blowing. So this is going to be really just a discussion about it, because I was cooking something up in the kitchen after watching it, and I have so many thoughts going through my head. What happened? I'm confused, I want to talk to people, but I was like, you know what? I think I can wait for video essays to come out, but then I was thinking, it's going to take a while. So I decided I'm going to make a quick video just discussing my thoughts, and I would love to know what you guys think about the ending in the comment section down below, so please comment, because honestly, I have so many thoughts. Listen, what I'm thinking about the ending might not be how you think, and I think that's honestly one of the most perfect things about this ending. I think a lot of people are going to have different theories, which makes sense. And this is going to go into this idea of this video being about subverting expectations. So obviously this is going to be about spoilers, so if you have not seen the show, listen. 1, 2, 3. If you have not seen the show, I'm going to talk about spoilers. Ready? Here we go. Shiv screwed over Kendall at the end. What? Now to some people you may have said, yeah, that makes sense. To other people you would have thought, nah, come on, Shiv, they're already backstabbing you. Backstabbing is in Gojo. Lucas and Gojo, they're backstabbing Shiv. Why would you want to continue to go with them and say yes on the deal? Versus, you can go with Kendall and Roman, and you can say no and still keep your father's company. So before we start talking about my thoughts about the final episode, I think we should talk about the idea about subverting expectations, because I think that's pretty much encapsulates the whole show. And you see it right in the beginning with the opening credits. The thing with the opening credits are that it's in alphabetical order, and I think they do that on purpose. I truly do. I was thinking about it the other day. I think they do it because you don't know who the main character is. Besides like Logan Roy, we don't know who's going to make it out on top. We don't know who's going to be CEO. And to some people you say, okay, maybe they just did that because it's alphabetical order, but I do think it was intentional. Now we're going to talk about the kids. Each kid had their high and lows. And at the very end of the show, Kendall says this: I think I'm the best fit to be CEO. Sorry Shiv, sorry Roman, but I think I am the best fit. And I'm going to get back to that. But going back to the show and the 4 seasons that we watched, it's tough to say that. At times you see Shiv and Roman, they have their highs, they have their lows. Shiv is probably at times the most smart out of any of them. But the thing is, though, is that she lets her emotions get in the way. She's really easily agitated, especially with things that happen with Tom or her brothers or even her dad, that she just breaks down and cries all the time. Roman, now, not the smartest book-wise, I think has a good gut in him. I think he has a good common sense, and I think he knows how to pick out people and how to pick out a bad egg. But in this last season, we saw he couldn't even say a speech about his father. Obviously, the father has passed away, so yes, it is tough for him, but he couldn't even stand up on the podium and speak. That's not a leader. And finally, we have Kendall. I don't think I need to talk too much about him, because he's just a mixed bag. I swear, one episode, he's like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, especially with the speech. He said like, oh man, I hope that the spirit of Logan, my father, I hope I have that in me. It's like, dang, that's pretty good. And then he just starts saying things like, yo, Romy, bro, what's up? And you're like, oh, come on, bro, like, be more professional. You still act like a child. So with all 3 of these kids, again, subverting expectations throughout the whole show, you go, okay, it's going to be Shiv. No, it's going to be Kendall. Actually, no, I think it's going to be Roman. Is it going to be Greg? No, it's not going to be Greg. That would be hilarious. That would have been so funny if at the end of the show they just go, Greg's the CEO. The end. So with this idea of subverting expectations, we get to the final episode. And throughout this whole episode, there's like 20 times I'm like, oh, dude, he's an asshole. I'm like, oh, wait, I kind of like Shiv now. Oh, come on, Shiv. Then I go, oh, even like Tom. I'm like, really, Tom, you're going to lie to Shiv? And you go, Greg, and you're like, man, you're picking sides, Greg? The whole last episode is just about you don't know who's going to win. You don't know who's going to win. But at the very end, when they're going to do the vote, 6-6. 6 people say, yes, we want to go through with the Gojo deal, and 6 people say, no, they don't want to go with it. And it's all up to Shiv. And at this moment, Shiv is aware that Kendall would be CEO. And she agreed. She said, that's okay. But she says, no, I don't want to do this anymore. She walks out of the room. The whole family comes to talk to her, and she says, I don't think you're going to be a good CEO. I don't think you deserve it. And she says, I love you, but you're, I think she said, like, you're a horrible person or something like that. And at this moment, I think this is like the biggest turning point of the show. And the reason why, obviously, but stick with me on this. Roman, right before that board meeting, said, "Why was it not me?" He clearly wanted it too. Kendall said that he doesn't have the guts to say that he couldn't do it, but he wanted it. He admitted he wanted to do it. Kendall obviously wants it, and Shiv also obviously wants it as well. But throughout the whole last season, we learn none of them are like their father. None of them are. Their father was a different beast. They are not like him. So I think Shiv knows this. And I think Shiv not only says, this is not good for us. At the very end of the episode, they're hanging out with their mother. They're all getting along. They're having a fun time. Let's forget about all the CEO stuff. Let's forget about owning Waystar and Royco. Let's just focus on having a good time with each other. And I think Shiv not only sees that, but also she sees, why should it be you? That's not fair. Logan, their dad, told Shiv that she'd be CEO. She told Kendall at the age of 7 that he'd be CEO. And before he died, he told Roman that he'd be CEO. So why is it that Kendall deserves it? I mean, honestly, out of all 3 of them, I don't think any of them deserve it. Honestly, probably Greg deserves it more. I think Shiv did the right thing. Out of spite, out of love, out of irritation. But she did it because she knew that they just didn't deserve it. And even Roman knew it as well. Kendall was freaking out. He was trying to think of all these crazy deals. He's constantly, he even admits, he says, this is all I know. It's sad. This is all he knows. He lost his family. He doesn't get to hang out with his kids anymore. His ex-wife hates him. He lost everything. This is all he knows. And at the end, Roman says, this is bull crap. I'm bull crap. You're bull crap. She's bull crap. We're awful people. We're horrible people. He knows it. So I think Roman has come to terms. I think Shiv at the very end, she holds hands with Tom, and she knows it's over. And she can move on. And finally at the end, Kendall sitting on that bench, staring out into the ocean, hanging out with Colin, one of Logan's only good friends. So hey, there's that. I think he will come to terms with it too. So that's what I think about the ending. I would have liked, obviously, I think we all would have liked to have seen them all sing Kumbaya, they all live happily ever after, but that's just not realistic. It's just not going to happen. They're all horrible people. Roman admits it. We all know it. It's funny too because in the first few seasons, I'm rewatching it with my mom, and I'm watching these characters, and I'm like, oh god, these are horrible people. And it's weird how now I'm actually rooting for them, even though in the first 2-3 seasons we're like, these are nasty people. And they still are nasty. They were spoiled brats who think that the world just revolves around them. But Roman's growing up, Shiv's growing up, and I think Kendall will grow up too. So those are my thoughts about the ending of the show. It's a great ending. It leaves you wanting more. There's a lot of questions. You don't know what's going to happen with the president. What if that falls through? You don't know if Tom's even going to be able to survive. You don't know if Connor's marriage is going to work out. There's a lot of questions. But what we do know is this, and in my opinion at least, is that they broke free. They're done. They're not part of the company anymore. And I think that's for the best of them. I think they can all work on their own little projects and become better people at the end of it. So that's what I think about the ending. It's a great ending. I love the show. It's a great show. I want to know what you think genuinely. Like I said, this is just my opinion. I think you guys may be saying, like, really? You're siding with Shiv? Shiv's a horrible person. And that could be it. Maybe you guys might think that Kendall deserved it. That also could be it too. But that's just how the show ended. And in my opinion, I think it was a great ending. So please let me know. I'd love to hear it. And there we go. That's what I think about the show. Please do not kill me in the comments. Those are just my opinions. But I made this video really quickly just to, discuss my initial thoughts. And if anybody wants to discuss the show, there's this video here that you can, maybe get a different opinion and form your own opinion as well. If you did like this video, subscribe, watch another video, and I will see you all next time.